Good morning. I don't know about you, but with the rain here in central Ohio, Plain City to be exact, I'm feeling like today is more of a Monday than a Tuesday. But I did enjoy my long weekend. I hope you all did as well. Let's go ahead and jump right into the content here. Um, I'm looking at week 2, and it is a shorter week, obviously, since the school was technically off on Monday. I know some of you had to work, but maybe some of you got a little extra time off. I hope so. That recreation time is so important, isn't it? Especially the older I get, I feel that. I'm like, need a little bit of margin, a little time to catch up with myself. Okay, well, here's what's going on. We're going to start our first paper. Don't freak out. It's a short week. There's not a lot of writing this week. This is just getting us set up and laying the foundation for our summary response paper. A summary response, in essence, is where you do take an author's work in his or her own voice. You give credit to the speaker. In other words, I'm going to speak in terms of the author as I summarize. If you're the author, I would say, so-and-so, last name, says in his work, blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. He also says, okay, that's the kind of framework we're talking about, using their last name and recognizing that this is being spoken by someone else. The response part comes in when I say, he says this or she says this, but I say this. And if you look back to the reflection worksheet that I had you do last week, those are each actually templates for different ways of responding. The authors, Kathy Birkenstein and Gerald Graff, have a book out that's called They Say, I Say, The Moves That Matter in Academic Writing, and I really use their concepts a lot. What they say is that you can break down, see my they say there, almost every type of academic writing into a they say, I say type of response. And there's 3 ways to respond. You respond with an I agree, I disagree, or a yes, but. In other words, you agree only to a degree, or you disagree but will allow them this piece that you think was accurate. The third option is not well, you could look at it either way and either way is right. No, 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 no. In this class, there's always going to be an argument. You are going to formulate an opinion about everything, okay? None of this sitting the fence, pro cons, no, 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 no. You're going to clearly argue for a position, whether an agreement one, a disagreement one, or one that agrees only to a degree or agrees with exceptions, okay? So those are your 3 options. And if you look back over that reflection worksheet, you can see sort of the templates that are set up there that I had you respond to. Some of them were like, well, in general, people say this about high school students, and I agree because, and you can see that I kind of formulated it for maybe more of a traditional college freshman, and some of you were having to do some deep reaches into the back reflections of your mind from your high school experiences, as did I. It's becoming further and further away. Funny how that works. My kids' high school experience is coming closer to reality, and mine is becoming further away. So anyway, phases of life. But nonetheless, you have an argument, you have an opinion, you have an experience that matches up with what's formulated, what you think about something. So that's what you're doing when you're summarizing and responding. You're not just stopping at the summary, although there's value in summary. You're going to extend it into your response. I get ahead of myself a little bit here because I get so excited about our first paper. What we're really just going to work on this week is our original responses to articles that are posted in the classroom. If you're having trouble accessing these articles, please let me know early in the week and I can see what I can do for you. Oh, there's a little boy in pajamas behind me. Okay, and so you're responding to those online articles. Some students have been confused in the past. What is it that I'm responding to? You're discussing the online articles. You're going to post your discussion into the assignment Dropbox as well, because I'm going to give you credit as an assignment. Do this. Not only respond to the articles with your opinion, and leave out some of the summary because we all are reading the same stuff. Respond with your opinion, but also respond to other students. So this is almost like a discussion in a classroom. So if I say, hey, this is my first online class I've ever taken, and I'm reading these articles, which are about online learning, and I'm thinking, this is going to be more work than I thought. And then somebody reads that and says, you know what, I have more experience in this and it is more work, but here's what I like about it. All of a sudden we've got a discussion going and it's almost like we're really in class together, okay? I love that about online, that you can do that even though it's asynchronous instead of all at the same time. Okay, there's also, so that's one assignment. You're going to drop that same assignment both in the discussion board as in the classroom. I never penalize you for no one sorry about the distraction. Go away, Jason. Jason is Turtle. That's my little guy. Anyway, I never penalize you for no one responding to your work, but I do want you to be accountable to responding to other people's work. So for this assignment, not only post once about the articles, post also about someone else's article's response, okay? That means you'll probably have to get into that discussion board twice before turning in the assignment. Okay, the second one for this week is the thesis worksheet. And for this, I'm just asking you to pretend. Use this worksheet for pretend. Our actual paper is not going to be about these online articles. This is a practice. And your thesis worksheet, you can use the online articles to pretend like you're going to write a paper about those articles. So this is a practice exercise that's not going to culminate into a paper. The thesis worksheet, I want you to practice using it before you have to use it for a paper, and then I'm going to encourage you to use it for a paper. If it doesn't work for you, I'm not offended. It's more of a template, very formulaic style. Some students really like it because it gives them something to focus on, because thesis writing seems to be like that giant writer's block thing for a lot of students. So that's why I wanted to give you a tool. But as with any tool, there's more than one way to tackle the same problem. And if the tool doesn't work for you, obviously it may not be a good fit. But I do want you to try to practice it. Humor me. Again, this time the thesis worksheet is going to be using the articles posted in the classroom for this week, but we are not writing a paper about these articles. We're not using this thesis worksheet for the actual paper. We'll start that next week. So this week is all practice exercises. None of it's going to culminate into a real paper, but we're thinking ahead about summary response and how to create a response after summarizing someone else's writing. So all of this is detailed in your course content backpack. It's also, there's assignments specifically listed and described in that area. I encourage you to read through that. Don't just rely on just this video, but you'll definitely see some overlap. Have a great week. Take care, and if you have questions, keep writing. Bye-bye.